So today what we're going to talk about is all things curriculum, and particularly different types of curriculum theory. So we'll start with our vision as a school. So we know that it's really important that there's a clarity of vision around what we are trying to achieve at Harrow Way. So we know at Harrow Way we're aiming to be the finest secondary school for miles around. And in order for us to do that, we need to ensure that students have better qualifications than they achieve in any other school, that they have the skills and attributes needed to live and work in tomorrow's global society, and they have the values and morals to be good citizens. Now, we know in our journey from good to great that we need to ensure that we have a level of consistency. We want every student at Harrow Way, regardless of the teacher, to have the exact same experience. So we've talked about this before in previous CPD sessions. Gone are the days of this kind of wild, rogue, cowboy teacher. We are now in a situation where we want every single child to experience the exact same thing. Now, we want to take this opportunity just to show how our vision at Harrow Way fits into the different curriculum ideologies. And we're going to focus on three curriculum ideologies here. The first being the scholar academic ideology, the next being social efficiency ideology, and the last, the social reconstruction ideology. So we start with the social academic ideology. So the main ideas behind this ideology is that culture in each subject has been accumulated, and that we each have important knowledge in each of our different subjects, and these are organised into academic disciplines at university, and the purpose is to help children learn the accumulated knowledge in your subject. So we have an understanding of the academic discipline in several different areas. It involves learning its contents, its conceptual frameworks, and the ways of thinking in that subject. So if I'm thinking in history, that's a different thinking process to when I'm in a dance lesson. And teachers should be mini scholars who have a deep understanding of their discipline. And the main aim of this is the extension of your discipline by introducing young people into them. So the extension of the discipline is accomplished through transmission of its knowledge. So that's why we have these knowledge organisers. You have decided what you consider to be the key knowledge in your subject that you want to transmit to students. And the curriculum provides this means of transmission. So you have sequenced it, all of you together within a department, in exactly the same way in order to transmit that knowledge. So we construct a curriculum in such a way that it reflects the essence of your discipline. So we'll look at the core knowledge, we'll look at your threshold concepts, because you want to convey what is the essence of your discipline. So ultimately, if we get that right, students will get better qualifications than they would achieve in any other school, and then move on to the further study of your discipline. Now, obviously though, we have an ambitious curriculum, and we know that not all students will move on post GCSE to that further A-level study. So we know that the curriculum has a wider purpose than just getting good in that subject. So next up is the social efficiency ideology. The main ideas of this are that we need to efficiently meet the needs of society, and we need to train youth to function as mature, contributing members of our democratic society. Therefore, we need to build skills and procedures that they're going to need in the workplace, and the skills and procedures you need at home. We also need to make sure that we are building competencies and activities that they are capable of performing. So this function is necessary for social productivity, and learners may require a lot of practice to gain mastery of those skills. So what we need to do is we need to establish the needs of society. What do students need moving into this global society? And there is an emphasis on this idea of society. So we know that sometimes within a GCSE paper, the questions can be quite abstract, and actually the knowledge gained for those GCSE papers aren't necessarily essential for them in society. So we need to have our curriculum having a broader sense of that. What do students actually really need to know when they move beyond us? If they're not going to be taking that subject post 16, what actually do we want them to take away from this? So to give an example of this about the needs of society, In order for a democracy, and we are a democracy, to thrive, we need an informed electorate, because democracies don't work without an informed electorate. And all of our subjects contribute to this endeavour. So, for example, last week or the week before, the government announced this bailout towards theatres and museums and arts. And actually we need, and one of our jobs is to transmit why that is so important for these key parts of our society to continue to thrive. And last but not least is the social reconstruction ideology. So here the aims are that we are conscious of the problems of our society and the injustices done to its members. So we're coming to the understanding that actually everything isn't fixed in our society, that these injustices could be racial, could be gender, could be social, could be economic inequalities. And that what we want as a society is a more just society. And our curriculums serve the purpose of trying to ensure that students create a more just society. So the curriculum is viewed from a social perspective. So we assume that the current society is unhealthy and its survival is threatened, and that something can be done to keep society from destroying itself. So what knowledge within your curriculum will help serve that goal? And this involves developing a vision for society, a vision that actually things can improve and can get better. Part of this ideology is obviously that society is going through a crisis, and therefore the truth and knowledge is also undergoing a crisis, and people might make claims that things are fake facts. For example, people might start to question the truth of vaccines, and we want to remove those kind of undesirable social values and replace them with more valuable and more desirable values. So that again is part of our vision at Harroway, that we want to ensure that students leave with the morals and value that make good citizens. So just to summarise then, our curriculum doesn't just focus on passing exams. Of course we want students to pass exams, of course we want them to become experts in our subject, but actually we see curriculum in a broader sense, so the curriculum serves a broader responsibility, that everyone in your department needs a shared vision, that you're all singing from the same hymn sheet and that you've all sequenced things so that you're all doing things the same. And this vision fits within the whole school vision. So we've just talked about our whole school vision and what we want for students at Harroway. How does your department serve that whole school vision?